Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and today is actually going to be another first impression. I put a poll on my last video to see what first impressions you as my viewers wanted to see, and a lot of you weighed in and said that you wanted to see the first impression of the Shea Moisture Weightless Shea Serum foundation. So that is what I have for you guys. If you're interested to see how I loved or possibly hate this foundation, stay tuned. So before we get started, I actually want to go into a couple of claims about the particular foundation. As you guys are seeing me right now in real time with no makeup on other than my brows and some eye makeup on, this is my skin and its natural true form. But before we get into the actual first impression of this foundation, I want to just go over a couple of things that are listed right here on the website. Number one, this foundation retails for about $14.99. Probably varies a little bit depending on which retailer you're actually purchasing it from. But they also state that this foundation is light, silky fluid, formulated that blends easily with the fingertips or makeup sponge to provide light to medium coverage with a natural finish. They also say that the shades stay true. In addition to that they're just going to give no ashy look whatsoever. Feels comfortable, almost undetectable to the skin. Formulated with natural ingredients and blended with moisturizing shea butter and antioxidants rich in vitamin C and E to nourish and protect the skin. So for this particular first impression, unfortunately there's no like long-term or long-wearing claims, so I'm not going to put that up to the test. I'm mainly looking for coverage and then also just the finish of the actual foundation. So if you guys are interested to see my first impression of these, let's get started. So as always, I always start with a primer. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I decided to use this because they say that this is going to be kind of a silky luminous finish to a foundation, so I definitely want to stick with something a little bit more matte, a little bit more natural. So off camera, I also did color correct my chin area, which is a normal routine for me. So I am going to be applying this particular foundation actually with a brush. This is kind of new for my first impressions. A lot of you guys see me use like a beauty blender of some sort, but I wanted to try it with a brush. So this foundation I'm currently using in the color Hazel. I'm hoping that the color is good. Let's pray. But they do say before you start this foundation that you want to shake it up first. So I'm just going to squirt some on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to do kind of one pump here and see if I need more. And the brush that I'm going to be using is an oldie but a goodie. This is the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush, which I haven't used in a long time, but decided I wanted to give it a try for today. So I'm going to just pick up the foundation, and we are going to start right here just on one side of the face. Get a mirror. So I would say just right off the bat that it does look pretty good. The color looks good, so I'm glad that I actually was able to figure that out for a change. But it seems that it's more of a light coverage with maybe one pump. So if you're looking for something a little bit like medium coverage or a little more than light coverage, I probably would suggest another pump. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face with one other pump, and then we will see how that finish looks. So now that I have finished applying the foundation, I would say that probably off the bat, this gives probably one pump or so, gives about light coverage to the actual skin. I still am able to see some of my imperfections and things come through, but I think like for just a wash of color or just evening out a little bit of the skin tone, one pump is definitely going to be enough. As far as the finish of it, it does give more like a dewy kind of finish. So I'm going to build up just a little bit of the coverage around the cheeks to see if that actually gives me a little bit more coverage. So now that I finished that second layer, it seems that it does give you medium coverage. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a full coverage foundation just for what I'm seeing right now. But I do kind of like the dewiness of it. I think that this is not going to be a foundation that holds up really well in the heat, unfortunately. So if you do have oily areas or your foundation breaks up in the T-zone area, I would definitely recommend kind of some type of powder or even a pressed powder. Like one that I would use is like this Makeup Forever Pro Finish powder. This will work great to kind of help with that area. So it is a little dewy. It does make me look very, very shiny. So I think I'm going to go ahead and finish my makeup, and I will come back with my final thoughts. So I went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup, and pretty much I really have kind of grown to kind of like this foundation in a very short time. It seemed that once I kind of set the under eye concealer and kind of applied the powder and stuff where I normally need it to be, that the foundation itself and the shininess of the foundation, because it was really shiny, just kind of calmed down a little bit. So I kind of really like that a lot. So overall, I would say that the foundation is probably light to medium coverage, just like it claims. It's very silky. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky, but I can definitely see that this is not going to be a summer friendly foundation, because I am currently about to start sweating with all of these lights. But overall, I'm kind of digging this foundation so far. So a couple of the cons, I would definitely say, number one, it's not going to be good for someone who has oily skin. I feel that that's really going with the combination of the ingredients in the actual foundation, in addition to the oils that are naturally on your skin. They're just gonna kind of slide all over the place and not really work. So I would say that this foundation is probably better for someone who has dry to normal skin. Another con is I don't feel that this foundation would hold up for more than probably 10 hours. 10 hours is a pretty good wear for a foundation, but depending on, you know, the environment that you're in, what you're doing, the activities that you're participating in, and just your natural chemistry, depends on how long a foundation really is going to last. So I think this foundation is going to be great for a date night or a night out with the girls or something like that, but anything further like an everyday foundation, not necessarily would say that it wouldn't work, but you're definitely going to have to do some touch-ups, if not blot or powder or things of that nature in areas where it may break up. And that's just because of how this foundation is actually formulated. So speaking of the pros, definitely a wearable foundation for sure. I think that you just have to play with it a little bit depending on how luminous you want to look, how shiny you want to look versus just kind of a natural everyday fresh look. Another pro of this foundation, which I appreciate so much, is these very large range and color selection. So pretty much anyone's going to be able to find their color with this foundation. There's some shades that you might have to mix one or two just to kind of get your perfect match, but I feel that this is actually the first foundation in a very long time since I've been doing these first impressions that actually seems to really match my skin. So I'm very proud of that. So another pro is obviously the finish. It looks really nice, especially in person, and I really am liking how it's kind of resonating off of the camera. So I would definitely recommend this foundation, one for girls who are dry to normal skin tone. I wouldn't recommend it for those who have oily or combination skin for the reasons that I stated earlier. It's a great price for a foundation. It comes with a pump. That's another pro for sure. And then obviously the finish of the foundation, in addition to the very large selection of colors. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this first impression. If you have tried this foundation, please put your comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. I actually had a subscriber that kind of gave me a heads up about this foundation prior to trying it. So I love hearing from you guys for sure. So put your comments down below and just kind of weigh in if you really love this foundation, if you hate this foundation, you know. More opinions the merrier. If you like first impressions, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, letting me know that you want to continue to see these on my channel. And also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. There is actually some big stuff happening, hopefully by the end of the summer. Fingers crossed. So you guys definitely don't want to miss out on that. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and today is actually going to be a